right? So
All right. Well, let's see if they end up picking similar picks in this game. We're into the draft already here. We have pretty much the same bans coming out here. Except maybe they're throwing a Graves ban in. League of Dogs threw a Graves ban in along with the Rumble and the Renekton to start off here.
yeah, I mean it's the
It's
same bans as
Trundle,
last game,
Graves, yeah.
and they first picked Yasuo, so
They're hard committing to this. And look,
Yeah.
Vodortron just goes Ezreal Trundle.
Boom.
Finally, Ezreal, OP.
So you lose 2 games with a Yasuo, right? Sorry, no, I'm so sorry. I'm not saying this right at all. They won
Yeah.
They won one.
Yeah.
To me, the Yasuo wasn't what really stood out. I guess fits into the comp though. Do you
Yeah.
just like first
Yeah.
pick him again like this?
I mean, it looks like it.
It looks like it because like
Well,
because,
obviously,
like,
but
it looks like it's working, you know. Because like
yeah, I guess so.
I wonder. It'll depend. We'll see how if we see a different matchup mid, or if Vodortron's just gonna run the Galio mid for 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
So if I don't see a Yuumi on R3 here, I don't even know what to say. Like they have Yasuo, Alistar. It's the freest. They have Ezreal and Trundle, 2 of the best Yuumi champions in the game. Because Yuumi can go with Ezreal, or she can dip Ezreal, and Ezreal can solo the lane. Yuumi goes on Trundle, who has healing increase in his kit, increased healing. So if I don't see the Yuumi, I'm gonna be very disappointed here. But
well, when we see the Taliyah coming out, I'm assuming that's going to go on Gabby's because that is like his. Yeah, which I'm excited to see because I haven't seen it yet. But I know that he has a very high win rate with Taliyah. Let's see if it's Yuumi.
And they go Braum. Okay.
It looks like they're going to lock that in. There you go with the Braum.
All right. Now, Alistar Taliyah is a kill lane through and through. Like, that is Alistar combos and then Taliyah combos, and you're dead. You don't have time to react. So
you can't react. You can't cleanse it. You can't flash it. If you tank it, you're dead. Because Alistar can actually lead with his Q. Taliyah can pull, rake him back with their seismic shove, and then Alistar can headbutt again, and then they're just dead. You know, they're just respawning.
So they're banning Gragas. What would the second ban be? I'm not 100% sure. He's played Gragas and Trundle so far. Maybe something like
something they played.
So they're banning tanks. They want Dinzy the
Gragas,
Lee Sin. Okay. So they want Dinzy on the Darius. It seems like.
Yeah, they want.
Unless they ban it here.
No, they should just ban. I think they should just ban another. They should just ban the Galio.
Yeah, they could ban the Galio. They could also ban. Yeah, I think Galio is just a good ban here.
League of Dogs should just ban it.
Because now that they've shown Taliyah, you know the Yasuo's going mid. Yeah. So it removes that ability to like move that one around. So
now Taliyah was built as a mid lane champion, right? I mean, because she can roam so well with her ults and stuff, right? Yeah. I mean, she could go mid again.
It's a very proactive champion.
Technically the Taliyah go jungle here. I don't think it is because Gabbyz is,
he's a Taliyah player.
Yeah. But the Yasuo, now they could do the same thing they did before, where they send their mid laner bot lane, and they send the
Pantheon Taliyah.
So they have
some globals.
Or not Tom's Pantheon. That's their jungler's Pantheon.
That's jungler. That's
Taliyah Pantheon. So the Yasuo is 100% going bot now, and the Taliyah is 100% going mid. You don't pick Pantheon unless you have Taliyah mid or some other Syndra LeBlanc kind of champion. And Sylas counters Ornn. So
looks like League of Dogs is winning draft really, really hard right now.
They are all in on the early game. If they don't win the early game, they lose the game. So
or the Pantheon's gonna fall off really hard. Yeah, the Ezreal and Trundle is just too hard for the Pantheon to deal later on.
Taliyah
especially with the Braum. Yeah, Taliyah is just her damage is not as good.
So the last pick here, they need a mid laner into Taliyah Pantheon to not die to her.
So a Zac maybe
something long range,
or like something that just doesn't die. Jax.
And they're sending Ornn mid, I guess, into Taliyah Pantheon, or maybe it is Jax mid. I don't know. This is what happens when you get people switching roles. They just take whatever.
That's interesting. Jax is actually not bad this game. I played Sylas to Jax before.
Just to clarify, sorry, this is actually a Ryze, not a Jax.
A Ryze?
Oh, okay.
Why would you go Ryze? That's such an. I think that's a terrible pick.
I don't. Well, okay. So Vodortron's completely all in on scaling. They scale really, really well. They have the Ezreal and the Ryze for late game damage. They got the front line with Trundle, Braum, and Ornn.
Ornaments.
Really hard to break through that. They had the Ornn. Yeah, they got Ornn items coming through at level 14 for Ornn, at 13 for himself.
Yeah.
So basically, the Yasuo, it's going to be hard for him to do much this game, I feel like, because he's going to go in and get chomped by Trundle and queued by Braum and probably die instantly, unless his win wall game's on point.
If I was if I was the Sylas, I would be building a probably more bruisery type build. You're not going to be ever. There's no one. You don't really have any targets this game to be doing damage on. Your job is just to steal Ornn ult and be a better Ornn, be a more better CC bot, be a better tank, and just try to kill their front line faster than their front line kills your front line. And I would go more of a tankier bruisery build on the Sylas this game. We'll have to see what happens in the laning phase because right now Sylas actually wins level 1 against the Ornn.
Now, this is one of the few times where Trundle has to be pretty careful in the early game because his mid laners Ryze and I'm assuming going to be taking cleanse to get out of the Pantheon stun. So his mid laner is going to be like a pressure vacuum. Like he's not going to have a mid laner for a bit unless Rodolph pops off or something. But the Taliyah Pantheon, very scary in the early game. They can kill mid, push in mid, roam to other lanes, or just blow mid's flash and push them in, or they can do whatever they want.
They can invade too.
So hard. Yeah,
free push, yeah.
So if this game goes past, I want to say 25 minutes, 30 minutes, then Vodortron should outscale and just win the game.
Yeah.
But
it'll depend on if the Ornn can stay alive too. Because Sylas can also die Ornn can die pretty easily against Pantheon Sylas. It's a chain CC, and they just do too much damage early game. So we'll have to see the Ornn. Ornn is generally really good into both of them because he can block one of the CCs with his this Bellows of Breath. But it's really scary if I'm a League of Dawgs fan.
So if Vodortron is going to play for the late game, are they going to try to prioritize dragons? It's probably going to be difficult if the Taliyah and the Pantheon have so much mid. Yeah, they just give them up.
Just take them. Just take
imagine,
dragons.
Imagine you're a Trundle, right? And you're like, man, we got no vision on this dragon's respawning in a minute. And my mid laner shoved under his turret. I wonder if I'm going to face check Pantheon, Taliyah, Alistar. Like, no, I'm dipping. I'm going to my Krugs up in the top lane. Like, I'm just like, all right, it's gone.
Yeah, power farm maybe.
On Rift Herald,
yeah, on Rift Herald, exactly. I was going to say that. Just try to counter that Rift Herald.
Try for it, but I mean, it's Pantheon Taliyah. They'll do the dragon ult up there, so.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, if they have global pressure, it's going to be really, really hard. I've been wrong in all my predictions so far, but I'd be very surprised if Vodortron can come out of this with an early game lead. I'd be very surprised. They'd have to really throw. So
what would happen would be if you wanted to be really wrong, Vodortron can actually win early game and then lose late game. But that'll never happen. That'll never happen.
I mean,
but we both did predict. We both predicted the 2-1 Vodortron, right? So we'll see how it goes.
They won with an actual pay to lose draft in the second game, so they won with it. Like, I check your bank account, I guess, but like, I would say I think Vodortron is good enough to stall this game out and win it.
Yeah,
but
I think
in
so
the first
too.
2 games, they've shown that they just want to fight all the time. And specifically, I want to talk about Diznbag because Diznbag likes to play aggressive, and he's on Ornn this game, who doesn't really play aggressive. But I'm interested to see if Diznbag can follow the plan of don't int the early game because we outscale.
Yeah, I think that Vodortron's actually trying this game. They were kind of trolling the last game.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're gonna be wanting in an ideal world they're not gonna want to have Diznbag playing Darius, getting solo killed, getting out split push, getting out pressure, just being weak. They're gonna want him to be playing like an Ornn, a sponge, something that sits there, farms, helps his team, is literally played. It's just a champion built for the team, and it's just an all-around really good champion. Like, it's really, you don't have to be able to farm that well. It's really low skill cap, and it's just super easy, safe, and it's super easy execute. It's a super easy execute for Diznbag this game.
Now, I will say, if the Pantheon and Taliyah make it so you can pick off people in the side lanes a lot easier too. So even if you don't scale as well, you can get picks, right? So say Ornn's going to the bot lane, he's going to push out one wave and back, and then all of a sudden Pantheon and Taliyah show up, and there's a Sylas there, like, you're just dead. And then I don't care how much you outscale, you're not winning a 4v5 without your Ornn. So
yeah,
that's what they have to do if this game goes long. See if they can do it, but
yeah.
I think
Now
I think
it's-
a lot of it is going to be on MaGeRDANGeR to ward out the Pantheon early because he's a pretty honest jungler. He's going to be he's not he doesn't have mobility. He can't jump over walls.
He's not like a
He's blast
Rek'Sai.
zone.
Yeah.
So so like a couple of good wards, you'll pretty much know when he's coming. So it'll I think a lot of it will be on the Vodortron's jungler to track this Pantheon. Because personally, I think Pantheon is auto lose. Like you pick it if you want to lose. So yeah, we'll see.
why do you think that? Is he just not strong enough? Like obviously his global is really great, especially in a team where you can communicate. Like we were talking about Tom Kent earlier, right?
Yeah.
Is it just that you just don't think he has enough damage in the utility? What is it about Pantheon that makes him weak in your eyes?
He loses. Surprisingly, he loses 1v1s to a lot of junglers. Like he will lose a 1v1 to Trundle for some reason. Like his most ganking junglers can win 1v1s. He's a ganking jungler that A doesn't scale and B doesn't 1v1 very well. So he has to skirmish. That's his only option. And if the enemy team just chooses not to skirmish you, you're kind of just useless. You're just robot at that point. Yeah. So you have your E to block damage, which is nice. He's good at turret diving too, so watch for turret dives.
Yeah, watch for turret dives on this.
You can block a lot of damage with that E.
Right, and again, like you said, with the Taliyah, she could just come launching in, block the person in, out of nowhere. I'm hoping you say 100% that Taliyah's mid lane. I hope that you're right because I want to see.
I'd be very surprised if it
wasn't.
Yeah,
it should be mid.
Because Yasuo pairs well with Alistar, Taliyah pairs well with Pantheon. It's like what's not to like, you know?
And then we are expecting perfect double date. Of course, we are expecting that then Gabbyz will still be on the Taliyah, but just be playing mid lane again. I mean, it worked out for them.
Probably,
Worked out for them last game. The Sylas, ultimately, the ultimate that he wants to steal is Ornn's, right? Maybe Braum's, but like stealing anyone else's is.
He can also steal the Trundle ult and ult the Ornn. If the Sylas steals the Trundle ult and he ults the Ornn, the Ornn becomes a squishy HP tank. It doesn't really do anything, it just dies. So he has multiple ults to take. In skirmishes, I would take the Trundle ult. In team fights, I take the Ornn ult.
All right,
but
so
it depends on if you want to engage or not.
All right, we'll see what Sylas does in this game. I always find Sylas absolutely riveting to watch. To see like, oh, where'd that all come from? That wasn't Ornn's ult. Oh, it was Sylas. Cool. We're going into the game. Are you guys sticking with Vodortron? Both of you? You guys think they're gonna take it?
I think they can. Yeah, I think they have enough.
I think League of Dawgs takes it.
Oh, you think League of Dawgs takes it?
Yeah.
All right.
Looking at the comps, I think League of Dawgs takes it.
All right, perfect. Let's send it over to Wes and Johnny on the caster desk.
All right, we're back, everybody. Game 3 here of League of Dawgs versus Vodortron. It's been an interesting series. Definitely, if I had a lot of money, well, actually, no, I'm not really a betting type of person. But if I was told, hey, here's free $5 to bet on this game, I would have bet that Vodortron would have won that last game, and then we'd be having a break right now. But no, we are into game 3 of this one, and honestly, I think it's a way more interesting draft than last one. Sure, again, they won, but again, I feel like that Dragon Soul was the luckiest soul for them, and then they got it, and they weren't, for whatever reason, Vodortron didn't contest it, probably didn't realize how important it was, I'm assuming, and then, just kind of lost that one. Now,
last game the draft was only interesting because of the result.
Yeah.
This game, the draft is interesting on its own merit, and so that's why we're more excited and more interested coming into this game than we were for the last game. We see actually maybe a bit of an invade here, probably just to get vision.
Yeah, like we'll see if they end up meeting each other, and I'll try to make a point, and then I'll stop it if they do. Oh wait, yeah, here we go.
Here it is.
And the fight breaks loose for the red buff. A bunch of will go down. Thresh main is going down pretty low. He tries to flash away. He will get taken down. First blood goes over to MaGeRdAnGeR. The fight is not over yet. Fsabe still got to try to get away now. He's walking out of here, and the red buff will be there. So an aggressive play by Vodortron works for their favor.
Yeah, definitely. And so already a first blood onto MaGeRdAnGeR is so powerful. We already talked about how on the analyst desk we talked about the Pantheon going into the Trundle and how Pantheon is not a strong champion in the 1v1. And so with MaGeRdAnGeR being on that Trundle, you know, the honest troll going around just doing honest work, clearing the jungle camps, but now he has been opened up to be able to start clearing his enemy jungle camps and setting that Pantheon even further behind, so that you get even more of a difficulty for the Pantheon to do those skirmishes.
I just have to pause all thoughts. Abu222 is playing the AD carry instead this game. Just throwing it up there. He is the higher ranked player on the team right now. We have seen Aldrei really struggling in this series, to be completely honest. And they were just like, know what? It's Abu222's time to shine here.
Yeah, wow.
Ezreal right now.
I did not notice this at all.
Yeah, just noticed it like in the middle of what you were talking about, and then it made me not be able to pay attention to anything else.
So this guy plays Ezreal. He's got 10 games on Ezreal, and he's got a 70% win rate, Abu. So, yeah, no joke on Ezreal, this guy. And very, very interesting adaptation because Braum, while, you know, not the most mechanically difficult support in the entire champion pool, is not, you know, like requires a good support in order to play effectively. And so, especially against, you know, people like the Taliyah, like the Yasuo. So, yeah, we'll see. Actually, that's a really big deal, honestly.
Yeah, if anything, adaptation, considering like as much as like we keep talking about how like sometimes the at this level the elo differences don't matter so much if your team's really organized. But we did see Aldrei. He's the lowest just ranked player in this game, and we just saw him getting punished a lot. So you went, okay, well, let's take our Grandmaster support player and put him on AD carry. You probably figured it out pretty quick. Like you said, did play 10 games of solo queue at a 70% win rate when he gets auto-filled to ADC, which, by the way, happens more often than you'd think if you're a support.
Oh, yeah. I think we can all attest to that. Yep.
He's able to play AD carry at a Grandmaster level because when he gets auto-filled to that, he plays it just fine. And it's a good adaptation, I think, mostly because no flame on Aldrei. He just was struggling in the series.
Yeah, well, you're going to struggle against someone like Gabbyz, you know? He's a challenger player. He is really good on all the champions he's picked. Now on the Taliyah, his signature pick that we've seen so far in this league. So very dangerous, but we do have actually Bladest in the bot lane. And
Fsabe making the gank over here for Gabbyz. Gabbyz playing on their best champion in this game. 72% win rate on that in solo queue too as well. So that's just the kind of flexing stuff that you're seeing, and really good stuff from this team where, again, I feel like they entered the last draft and still got away with one, and now they're like, I put together a very interesting team composition. And honestly, they were talking about how Rodov's team here do have to. Hold on, I'm going to pause my own point as we do see Fsabe make his way over to this bot lane as well. But here comes MaGeRdAnGeR as well. He's there to use a pillar to bring up Fsabe, but he's a pretty tanky boy. But can they finally take him down? They do. Abu222 is going to be able to pick up that damage, and that gank works out for them.
Winions have joined the side of Vodortron. So that pillar came up, beautifully placed pillar, because it forced the Pantheon to run into the minion wave, which he couldn't even get around. You saw him juking back and forth, not even able to run in the direction of his turret, never mind get in range of it. So really nice pillar there, and really unlucky there for Fsabe not being able to get past those minions. Nice play by MaGeRdAnGeR. They are going to leverage that into a dragon. Now, I like Fsabe's, I like what Fsabe is doing here, even though he was set behind there by that early jungle invade, and Pantheon definitely, and now being out farmed by the Trundle, but still has already shown up in 2 lanes, 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in, and is still trying to make use of that Pantheon and trying to prove Captain Snarfles wrong when he says it's an auto lose.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, we're getting really good stuff here. Like one of the most interesting things too, I think, with the multiple adaptations that kind of happen in between players playing positions. Again, Gabby's going into the mid lane again. Of course, he is normally a mid lane player. Like that's what he does. He's kind of coming here to play AD carry because Bladest basically plays mid lane.
Yeah, he plays as much mid lane as anything.
Yasuo Echo main, right? So what's nice about this flex is like, Yasuo is perfectly fine in the bot lane when you need someone like Gabbyz to match Rodolph in that mid lane. You were seeing the CS being equaled up there, even has that kill too as well. So what you're seeing there is like, while you expected Rodolph to just mechanically outplay everyone, almost everyone in this league, Gabbyz is one of the people that can match him. So yeah, you were, after game 1, you're like, we don't need to see that matchup again. If they don't ban this Yasuo, we can put this Yasuo bot lane. That's why I was kind of saying in Twitch chat, I was a little bit curious to see if they would ban out the Yasuo and force him on his other pick. But maybe they just don't want to deal with Echo. That might be the whole thing with Vodortron, who knows. Meanwhile, Thresh main jumping in, getting it engaged onto Abu222. He's going to be exhausted. Does he have enough damage to take him out? They do not. Right now, they do see Thresh main take him down low, but he's going to go as well. So a fine trade by both teams.
Yeah, you already see a pretty significant farm lead coming in here for Gabbyz, but potentially they can... Oh, here's the dive.
Going for the dive. He's going to get one. It will be a trade in the end. Bladest has enough to be able to jump out of there. Aldrei not able to slow him down to get him on the escape. So it ends up being a 1-for-1, a trade you'll mostly take right now because the kill did go over to Thresh main instead of towards your carry. But we are seeing some action in the mid lane as well, as Gabbyz has gone down a little low, but will be overall fine.
Yeah, Rodolph, good instincts there. Knew that Fsabe couldn't be far away if Gabbyz was staying in range like that. And here comes the, beating up on each other. We said that Sylas somewhat of a counter in lane to Diznbag, and here comes the ultimate.
Yeah, you could have used his ultimate against them, but they're using the same ultimate right back at him. Let's see if they're going to be able to win this trade there. Oh, we're going to actually move over towards the mid lane as the auto director has brought us there because clearly a kill didn't end up happening. But
auto director, a prophet once again.
Yeah, exactly. Like nothing happened. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Thanks for ending all the drama.
Yeah, auto director is revealing our script a little too early here. No, he doesn't die here. It's okay.
No, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's all like a lot of kind of what's going to happen in this game is super interesting. The Vodortron's got a hard team composition to play in this game with all the pressure to be put on. They gotta survive, and then they'll have this sick team fight, but they gotta survive.
Man, it is so hard to keep track of who's winning in CS in this game when you look down at the list of champions because everybody has role swapped, and so it's like, 80-13. Hello? Nope, never mind. That's not the actual difference.
I kind of love how, in general, just worldwide, how League of Legends players are all learning that to play more.
Yes.
Yeah. It is kind of like the one thing that when you could pick your role happened to League is that you had more people unable to play other things for a long time, and it was like, oh yeah, AD carries just play AD carries, mid lane just play blah blah blah. That was just kind of happening. It was kind of the unfortunate thing of picking your role, but you're actually kind of seeing how people are starting to adapt and basically fill more often and play this other stuff. Like I said, I'm traditionally an AD carry main, but I can jump over to support and mid fairly decently, at least at my level, and I think that's pretty valuable for League of Legends players, especially when you're playing an organized play here. Gabbyz being this flexible, of course, is playing on off role normally at AD carry, goes to mid lane. That's their main role, playing their best champion. This is a huge boon for them. MaGeRDANGeR, meanwhile, is finding Fsabe and Gabbyz over here in the jungle, forced to flash away. And we'll see if they continue a fight here as everyone's kind of posturing around something that's not alive right now around that dragon pit, but they will eventually back up.
Yeah, so much fighting going on everywhere on the map. What I do want to point out, as the knockup comes in again.
Oof. Nice knockup. Vodor is going to go down, and that's just a huge power of someone who really knows the timings of all their abilities on Gabbyz playing that Taliyah. Going to be able to get that and really help themselves with their snowball.
Yeah, I want to go back to what you were talking about before about sort of the variety of different champions and styles that we've played in every lane. What I really like about our league is that we have kind of a concentrated microcosm of that. Here comes the ultimate though in from Fsabe.
Here's those globals used to join this fight over here, and right now Aldrei is just trying to survive. Will not do so. Gabbyz jumps over the wall, wants about 2-2-2 next. Does have phase to get out. Exhaust though is being used to try to stay alive. Here comes the engage from Thresh main. Tanks that tower. He will get the double kill onto Gabbyz.
Is this a mistake? The Ezreal has got exhaust and the Braum has heal. So that's already not normally what you'd see, but the support player, perhaps they're saying, okay, well, I'm more used to using exhaust and you're more used to using heal. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And
I'm just going to go with they didn't realize they brought
it seems like they just forgot to switch those around, which is not the first time for that to happen in the Premier League, I'll just remind you. But very interesting there, as a dragon now will be returned back. That is the Cloud Drake going over to the side of League of Dawgs. So, continuing to hold even here, dead even in gold, as another gank comes towards him.
Just walks up, does the knockup. Now eventually uses it to cover it away, but he is in trouble now because he no longer has abilities. Will be taking out Rodolph to pick up that kill, and as they try to get to their late game scaling, they're going to be pretty happy with the fact that they're 600 gold ahead right now. Actually.
Yeah, good presence there by MaGeRdANGeR to counter that gank. And so we do see Gabby still in the mid lane with that 3-0-1, but so back and forth here. Here comes another team fight, which
Diznbag tanking as much as he can. Bladest coming in with that ultimate will take him out. Fsabe will end up securing that kill. Aldrei trying to run away now, but everyone's on top of him. The knockup will for sure secure that. Bladest got that kill now, 2-4-0, and they continue on to this mid turret.
Yeah, we're working on a kill a minute here in this game. 7-4 now the scoreline, as we are once again basically dead even in gold, and in this case not nearly as sure a concept of who outscales whom, although you definitely do look to that Ezreal and Ryze. Speaking of the Ezreal though.
Boo 2-2-2 caught in trouble, gonna be taken down. Bladest picks up their second kill of the game, and yeah, just getting more work done.
Definitely festive gameplay coming in through here, as Tiger Clown so aptly put it on the desk. And yeah, we see still, you know, Rodov, a lot of attention being put towards Rodov in that mid lane, knowing they don't want that Ryze to come, as I say that.
Boom, Gabbyz picks up kill number 4. Aldrei, meanwhile, is trying to defend this tower. Will probably just be punished for their efforts, because they're just going to continue hitting the tower. They don't even care. But here comes Fsabe to help. They're going to try to defend this tower now. Aldrei is going to be able to take a bunch of this up. It does go down real low. Gabbyz, however, has entered. Bladest will finish off the kill. Thresh main tag just enough to deter it, that they remain unscathed. Oh, thanks an Ezreal ult too.
So close.
Not enough to kill him by a small margin. Meanwhile, Gabbyz right here, gonna wall you off. Can you go anywhere? You're gonna try to jump up. You're right in front of Gabbyz. Still gonna be taken down. Bladest, 4th kill of the game for them.
There's the power of the Taliyah and the strength of it on such an expert as Gabbyz here. Really, really beautiful play there, and Abu just too far up, didn't consider the potential of that ultimate coming through. And yeah, we saw the power of the Pantheon tower dive, though it wasn't even necessary, as Thresh main on Alistar was able to tank through the entire tower dive that just happened up there, going towards the Braum. So the first turret does go down there on the side of League of Dogs. And so now we have the gold lead in favor of League of Dogs, but only by 400 gold, 300 gold. Now 100 gold. It's just so close, even though all these kills are going towards League of Dogs. And so nice job by Vodortron there to maintain that CS lead to keep that gold even, though it must not feel like that to them at this point in the game.
Yeah. They're still behind by tempo and a lot of that, even though the gold lead is like not crazy. Like, this game's not out of hand for them, but this is exactly what they wanted. And right now, what they're doing this whole series is that, like, League of Dogs wanted to play Fiestas. Like, honestly, like, as much as we're memeing about it, they wanted to play this heavy, dangerous fights. And this is the team comps they pick are for doing that. And right now, throughout this whole series, Vodortron has been roped into it. So many of them are just high mechanically good players that they feel like, they should just be able to beat anybody. And right now, they're just getting roped into these Fiestas that they should be trying to fight for. But right now, huge lead in gold for Bladest and Gabbyz themselves, which is like the most important place for this gold is.
It reminds me a little bit of like the classic Flash Wolves, where they were able to take these games off really, really high tier competition just by sort of creating all sorts of chaos, and the other team, even though they were better, just had no idea what was happening in this game, and just they weren't. It was so different than the meta of their, native league. And in this case, it's just that you have the opportunity to do that. Though here comes the dive onto Laird.
Here we go. Laird now avoiding the second part of that ultimate, but ultimates do come through from everyone as the wombo combos do try to finish them off. He's gonna eventually go down. Bladest picking up another kill, looking for a second one. Does get that one. It will be traded back one way, but here comes the rest of the fight. Triple kill comes through now. He's looking for 4K. He wants that Quadra. He will not get this. Fsabe will pick up that kill, but at least there's still one more for him. Can get the Quadra heal. Never mind. Double kill goes to Fsabe. If they wanted to, which of course you just don't, they could have set up the penta for Bladest.
Yeah, I think that was it. That was a bit of a stolen pentakill, turns into a full house instead. Yasuo 2 for the Pantheon. Infernal Soul once again will be available eventually, and the Infernal Dragon here now going out to League of Dogs, who with that fight and with that I would say definitely overextension and overdive there by Vodortron have secured quite a significant gold lead at this point. And so
Vodortron's 2 behind.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, 16-5 now in the kill difference. And though Vodortron does outscale here, it's going to take them quite a while at this point, and Yasuo, no joke in the late game anyway.
Oh yeah, now sitting at 2 items at the 17-minute mark is just a terrifying thing. Again, like they mentioned in the Red Bull analyst desk there, but the kind of global pressure that's gonna have applied right now by Fsabe and Gabbyz. As much as like we said, like we don't necessarily even like Pantheon as a champion, the global pressure is still a real thing. That's part of why the rest of the champion is so weak, is because global pressure on its own does so much for the champion. And when you pair that with Taliyah, who's also going to apply that, it's just like there's not a lot of places to be safe. You can't be pushed too far anywhere, even when you have vision. Meanwhile, Bladest is going to jump on a Boo 222. He's an alright Ezreal, but you're 1-6 right now, and they're just really strong at this point.
Yeah, speaking of not safe, nowhere is safe if you're near minions, friendly minions, when Bladest is around at this point. Just able to close that gap so quickly on the Yasuo there. Legendary now coming in for Bladest, who is fully taking on the carry role in this game, which I love to see, because League of Dogs has so heavily relied on Gabbyz to carry almost every game. Not that Gabbyz isn't doing well here, but Bladest is the carry. Yeah, 407, he could be carrying in a different game. But in this game, where the kills have now amounted to 22, definitely 8-0 and 5 is the most impressive score.
Gabbyz not wanting to be forgotten. Will pick up that kill there. Bladest, meanwhile, will looking for another one, and he'll get that one. 9-0 and 5 now.
Look at how he shreds that Ornn.
In the bottom lane, trying to at least get this turret for his own efforts, but Laird is right here, able to answer it. Gonna be a slapping. MaGeRdAnGeR here to help Rodolph out. Laird trying to escape over here using the bush to his advantage, but will not get out. They will finally get this turret, but they're still pushing turrets in the top lane with the Rift Herald.
This is going to be a very, very early inhibitor, and I might, venture to say almost too early. The death timers are too low, and yet they are going to pull away from it. So the death timers are too low here for them to really benefit. Except here comes the engage.
Yeah, they finally get down. Meanwhile, they're attacking over the top side. Aldrei is going to go down as well as they continue to pick up this inhibitor. It's a 2-for-2 on different sides of the map, mind you, but huge shutdown onto there. It goes to Rodolph. That gives you a glimmer of hope right now if you are Vodortron and Vodortron's fans, as that's a significant amount of gold to put on a Ryze. Like right now, you're still you look at the Ryze build, it's still only an item and a half. You really want to see that at 3, and then Ryze can just start carrying fights, but the game might be over by then.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of the tough part, as we're sitting at the 20-minute mark, so it's tough.
And still, League of Dogs came ahead in that engage. Just want to go back to that inhibitor. So they could have taken it in that situation and chose not to, because they aren't going to be able to push for the win, and that just gives a whole bunch of farm to the Ryze and Ezreal streaming into the base, while death timers are still too low for them to, really feel good about going in for a win. So pre-20 minutes, generally is the rule. You want to take that inhibitor if you've got other stuff to do on the map. They'd rather, go for something like the Baron or continue to work towards that Dragon Soul. Good choice there by League of Dogs. And like we did see the shutdown go on to Rodolph, but still coming out ahead is League of Dogs in that engage.
Yeah, they're able to basically pull that one through here. They're setting up right now to look at this Baron. They do have a little bit of vision here and there, but they're clearing out the rest of Vodortron's vision so they can kind of do this safely. This game just being played way more cleanly right now by League of Dogs. And we've seen, again, like this game started off as quite the fiesta, but they've been playing it so cleanly ever since they got their early lead they know they need to have, and now they're just picking the perfect fights and are getting good vision. And Aldrei right now is looking to potentially be caught out here. They're losing everything to get onto it. Thresh main trying to jump over there will just force them off, but does give them a good positioning on this Baron now.
Yeah, this Aldrei and a boost switch now feeling a little bit like somewhat of a panic decision here, where it's like, okay, we need to deal with this guy. We need to deal with Gabbyz. Meanwhile, here's the fight, Aldrei.
Just use a stopwatch over here, trying to stay surviving. Here does get taken down by Laird, as the Baron now is at half health. Here come Rodolph, MaGeRdAnGeR, and a Boo 222 try to fight for this. This might potentially be games. They can't do anything about it, but a big ultimate does come through from Bladest. Fsabe will clean up the kill there, so will Laird, and now they're just jumping on the rest of them. A Boo 222 is just trying to escape, but Flash comes from Bladest, trying to search them. Gabbyz did ult, and he's gone towards the other side. They're all just chasing down a Boo 222, who's just trying to get a kill to maybe trade us off, and a nice little switcheroo there, but the Jonias will mean they get to stay alive, and Yeah, that's a nice big team fight win, and they're going to continue pushing in this top lane.
Yeah, that could be it. The fancy feet there from Abu, not going to do anything against the absolute destruction raining down from League of Dogs in this situation. Ornn ultimate comes in, but the wind wall, of course, blocks it away. One more engage, one final fight for Vodortron.
Here we go, they're trying to defend now. Thresh main will go down, Rodolph does pick up that kill, but Aldrei will die over on the other side. Fsabe is now godlike, and continuing the fight over. Shutdown does come through Diznbag, but he will die immediately right after. It's 2 for 2, but they're still pushing onto Nexus turrets. They will get one down, but they're trying to escape now. See if they try to use the Ryze ultimate to get over towards them. Actually, they don't go inside of it, but they will just continue walking up. They will pick up another kill. Here comes Rodolph getting 5 kills under his belt now. They're going to continue to push, and they are able to defend this successfully. And there's still a shot at this game for them.
Yep, now you see the power of that late game Ryze. Able to free hit on the backline with that machine gun mage that Ryze becomes in the late game, and already Seraph's Embrace and Oblivion Orb, plus working towards that death cap completed. And yeah, huge damage came out from Rodolph in that team fight. Able to defend those Nexus turrets there. And definitely, you know, this is what they need to do. It is very, very difficult. Don't get me wrong. This is definitely still League of Dogs game to lose as a boot here.
Now these jumping here, like, yeah, you may have taken it out, but again, that global pressure is being applied. Teleport is coming through as Rodolph's now going to join the fight. Fsabe will pick up the first kill here before the teleport comes through, but they're here now. It doesn't matter. Double kill now for Fsabe, and they're on top of the tank. You're tanky, but they're not if everyone's slapping you. Diznbag trying to run away will not. Gets taken down. Fsabe 10-1. You said I'm on a garbage champion. Well, I say I'm going to win this game.
Definitely not looking like an auto lose in this situation, although definitely I'll admit taking advantage of some mistakes that have been made by Vodortron. The main one in that situation, Abu once again overextended too far up on the Ezreal, not respecting the Taliyah ultimate to wall off there. And they are going to go straight towards the Baron here. Now,
yeah, interesting thing here, the Baron is down to half health. But interesting thing here is that, like, Rodolph decided not to teleport over there onto that play to make anything happen right now. They're just going to leave it up. He actually teleports now to the Dragon to take it, because I guess they realize they're just going to lose that Baron. And at the very least, they can at least take this Dragon away and make it sure that Soul Point isn't within one Dragon's reach. I did say they needed to get him on those 3 items. He's built those 3 items now, but is it too little too late? That'll be the interesting thing to track. His positioning, Rodolph's positioning in this fight is going to be so key. Everyone's going to be trying to protect Rodolph while they do as much damage as humanly possible, but man, you have 2 1-death members on the enemy team that are all fed, so it's going to be pretty hard to protect, but I'm very interested to see what they try.
Oh yeah, it is 3 huge items, and this is way more than what Rodolph had at the outset of that last fight, where you still saw how much damage was coming out. Now, like, gigantic power spike. It's like twice as much damage that he's got access to now. And so, yeah, definitely if Rodolph can stay alive, this team fight could easily go in Vodortron's way if they play it properly. That being said, though, still huge damage on the side of League of Dogs. And while turret's getting pushed down and complete map control as well as Baron buff now active.
Here we go. This is a big defense here. Let's see if they even realize how much more damage Ryze just suddenly built since the last time they seen him. But they are respecting it. That's exactly what I was kind of hoping they would do, because if they actually kind of YOLO went for it, they might have been hugely punished by a Ryze coming in over from the side. But right now, they're expecting it, trying to find an easier pick instead of just forcing it onto there. So again, League of Dogs playing super smart here. Now Thresh main trying to jump in for that, trying to get that pick we just mentioned, but he's being taken down now. Knockup comes through from Diznbag, trying to get the engage on. Laird, however, will pick up the first kill of this fight. He will pick up a double, moving on to the third. He'll be taken down now as well, but Rodolph does pick up at least 1. It is a 3-for-1 right now in favor of League of Dogs. They're going to continue pushing with this Baron buff onto this mid turret.
Yeah, Rodolph did well in that fight, but just not able to get enough damage onto the team. And this looks like it's going to be the game. Rodolph may be strong, but he cannot 1v4 in this situation. They're just going to... they are going to push towards the inhibitor, but yeah, here's the plan.
There we go, gets knocked up. League of Dogs playing this end game so well, taking them out. They said it would be a 2-1, but it's a 2-1 in favor for them, assuming they continue to take on this Nexus turret. They're going to finally destroy it. Only the Nexus left to stand. Thresh main will eventually get taken down, but that Nexus is going to be the most important target. It'll be taken out. 2-1 victory for League of Dogs.